He knows Daddy would never hurt him.
I'm hearing voices.
He knows Daddy would never hurt him. That's what the 5-year-old's grandmother told herself when she dropped him off that afternoon. But within 90 minutes, the words, "I just killed my son," would be spoken into a 911 line, and a suburban Ohio home would become a crime scene so brutal that responding officers could no longer distinguish the child's facial features. Before we go deeper into what the evidence actually shows, make sure you're subscribed to Detective Narrative, because we don't just cover the story, we follow the facts. The front door of a quiet family home is a threshold between order and chaos. On one side, the mundane rituals of a weekday afternoon, a therapist's appointment, the hum of an iPad communication device, the mundane expectation that a father watching his son is a safe assumption. On the other side, a scene so incomprehensible that police would later find blood having pooled through the floorboards into the basement below.
Police find the walls, floors, and ceiling of the house covered in blood. On the floor is the victim, 5-year-old Jax Ponamarano. One of the responding officers would later write that his face...
That threshold is not a line, it is a trapdoor, and on March 25, 2021, the Ponamarano family fell through it.
This is the last known audio recording of 5-year-old Jax Ponamarano shortly before one of the most brutal and horrifying child murders Ohio investigators have seen. But when the killer turns out to be the boy's own father, police must determine why this unthinkable tragedy occurred.
The 911 call begins not with a confession but with a preamble. Matt Ponamarano, 31, his voice halting, is asked for his address. His response, "I just killed my son."
On the afternoon of March 25, 2021, a disturbing call comes in to 911 in Parma, Ohio.
911, what's the address to your emergency? Tell me exactly what happened.
I just killed my son.
When the dispatcher presses for details, how old? Where is he now? The answers come in fragments.
6.
Where's your son now?
He's dead.
Dead where?
Dead. With a baseball bat.
And you said you're hearing voices?
Yes.
All right, how did you kill your son?
And then the dispatcher asks the question that will haunt every corner of this case. Why? I don't know,
This is now
he
a
says.
crime scene.
And why did you kill him with a baseball bat?
I don't know.
On the surface, this is the sound of a man in crisis. But for the detectives who would later unpack what happened during those missing minutes, the gap between grandmother's goodbye and the baseball bat swing, it is the sound of a man who may not have been the victim he claimed to be. At the highest stakes moment of the investigation, one question hangs over every interview, every jailhouse call, every psychiatric report. What happens in the 28 minutes between the last known recording of Jax Ponamarano alive and the moment Matt picked up the phone to confess?
Yeah. And I can hear Jack in the background, so I know he was alive.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That gap is not just a timeline. It is the fault line where the entire narrative of the tragedy shifts. Matt tells his mother he had been off his medications for 3 months, that he'd been discharged from a psych ward just days earlier, that he'd begged doctors not to release him.
Oh, Mom, Matt, what happened? What happened? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I know you didn't. That was not you, Matt. That was not you. It's not you. The point is, whatever was controlling you, let you do it. You love that little boy.
He tells his ex-girlfriend he was floating above his body, hearing voices, just
He's
manic.
driving crazy, blah, blah, blah. And when he gets into these psychoses, he feels like he's floating above his body. He's explained it to me in a normal sense. He goes, I'm floating above my body. I have no control of what's going on. And you can see it in his eyes. He turns.
This has happened where you've actually been there when he had one of these?
The documentary evidence appears to support the crisis narrative, a psychiatric diagnosis of bipolar disorder, opiate dependence, and recent institutionalization.
He's been thrown so many medications left and right.
Bipolar.
Bipolar too, yeah. He's been in and out of institutions. He was released.
But when the detective plays Matt his own 911 call, a recording where Matt says, "I'm hearing voices," and then falls silent, the father shows no sign of recognition.
Matt, can you tell me what happened yesterday? Matt, do you remember calling 911?
No.
"I just told my son. he says, but he cannot recall the act. The system failed him. The voices took over. The demon won.
You did everything you could to fight. This is the result of cold turkeying you off heavy anti-psych medicine.
Dude, there's so much support for you. You have no idea.
Sure.
Oh my God, Matthew. Yes, you have no clue. It's not your fault. All right? It just happened. Things happen.
This was not you. This was not you. And yet, buried beneath the avalanche of family testimony and mental health records, other voices emerge, accounts from people who knew Matt Ponamarano outside the protective orbit of his loved ones. They tell a different story. A man from a rehab facility remembers Matt saying he would rather see his autistic son dead than suffer. He said it plainly, casually, like a passing frustration. Another witness reports that Matt regularly spoke of beating his son or choking him to death. It would come up out of nowhere. He said, "My son used to die." Investigators note that in a previous episode, Matt was found running naked through the
Screaming at the
neighborhood.
top of his lungs, the purge, Shannon, the purge, and he was singing the national anthem. So I tried to take him out of the house, and he was a few.
Having left old Jack's in the middle of the road. Those who knew him well admit they'd seen the switch flip before. This was not you. But when pressed, his ex-girlfriend offers a chilling correction. She believed Matt killed their son not because of voices, but because he could no longer control her.
I mean, when this first happened, I was all gung-ho about the mental illness part of it and the medicine, but like I said, after talking to Janice last night and her putting into perspective of the only way he's going to hurt Sam is to take her son, I feel like it was him.
The only way he's going to hurt Sam is to take her son, she concludes. The evidence hardens toward a stark possibility: a man with a history of psychosis, yes, but also a man with a motive, and a man who, even as he makes the call to 911, might be curating his own defense in real time. The official record says something else, something damning. In the days before Jax's murder, Matt Ponamarano was hospitalized for an overdose. Upon discharge, doctors described him as hopeful and future-oriented, deemed to be at minimal risk of harming others. Jax was dead 8 days later.
According to records from his recent overdose hospitalization, Matt denied having violent ideations of any kind. Upon discharge, doctors described him as hopeful and future-oriented and at minimal risk of harming others. Jax was murdered just 8 days later.
This was not you. But the final question, the one the detective asks and asks again, the one that Matt refuses to answer, remains open. He will not walk through the events of that day. He will not describe the moment the bat connected with his son's skull. He will only say, "I didn't mean to do it."
Tell me what happened. I want you to know. I want to know that you know.
I didn't mean to do it.
Okay.
I really didn't.
Believe me, I know you didn't.
And in that refusal, the silence becomes a verdict of its own. In November 2023, Matt Ponamarano pleaded guilty to aggravated murder, kidnapping, and endangering children. He was sentenced to life in prison, eligible for parole in 45 years. The family's online memorial for Jax
Correctional
reads simply,
Reception Center in Orient, Ohio, found him lying dead in his cell on December 7, 2025. He was 36 years old. In an online memorial for 5-year-old Jax Ponamarano, his family wrote, "My baby boy, my little man. I don't know how or when, but one day I'll see you and feel whole."
My baby boy, my little man. I don't know how or when, but one day I'll see you and feel whole again. This case is built on documents you can still access today. The full police report, the forensic psychiatric evaluations, the transcript of Matt's interrogations are all part of the public record in Cuyahoga County, Ohio. Go read the discharge summary from his final hospitalization, the one that described him as hopeful and future-oriented. Read it and ask yourself, was this a system failure or a system truth? The difference determines what justice means in this house. If you had been the detective and you had only those 28 minutes to decide, what would you have asked him? Let us know in the comments. If you found this breakdown valuable, share, and subscribe to Detective Narrative. And don't forget to turn on notifications for more forensic deep dives into the cases that refuse to close themselves.